welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie.
Today we are looking at an article called Melbourne, a journey through art, food, and culture. So Melbourne is a very famous big city in Australia. It's sort of the second city in Australia because Sydney being the biggest city that everyone knows, but the second city would be Melbourne. So have you ever been to Australia, Winnie?
I actually did. Growing up in Singapore, it was actually really cheap and really not too long. It doesn't take a long time to get to Australia. So my family and I would spend all of our Christmases in Australia, and we would do a lot of road trips, but I've never been to Melbourne.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been to Sydney, been to Perth, been to Adelaide, never been to Melbourne.
Been all across the country.
Yeah.
But not
Just missed out.
to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been to Melbourne.
Oh.
Actually, I went to Australia once when I was much younger than I am now. And I actually spent my first Christmas away from home in Melbourne.
Interesting. So was it really hot? Because, a lot of people say Australia is really hot in our Christmas time, but was it hot?
I remember it wasn't that hot. Melbourne's weather can kind of change a lot. Even within one day, it can feel like it was winter and summer. So it was much hotter than I'm used to for Christmas, or than I was used to. Because I found it that it was didn't feel like Christmas for me because it was too warm. And I even still feel that now, usually in Taiwan when it's Christmas, because it's also still too warm.
Not a white Christmas.
Right.
Right. Okay, well, I'm excited to learn a little bit about Melbourne in today's article, Melbourne, a journey through art, food, and culture, day 1.
Melbourne is a city that's full of personality and culture. From lively street art and delicious food to peaceful gardens, it offers a wide variety of experiences for any visitor. As soon as you arrive, you'll notice Melbourne's unforgettable mix of historic charm and modern city life. Art is everywhere, from the modern buildings of Federation Square to the collections at the National Gallery of Victoria.
Hello everyone. Today, let's take a look at our article, Melbourne, a journey through art, food, and culture. And today, we're on day 1.
Let's get it started. Melbourne is a city that's full of personality and culture. Usually we use personality to kind of describe a person, but actually a lot of places have personalities. So if you look at, for example, the Pacific Northwest of America, you'll notice that they have kind of a more laid back, eco-friendly vibe as opposed to New York City, which is very hustle and bustle. So Melbourne has their own personality.
From lively street art and delicious food to peaceful gardens, it offers a wide variety of experiences for any visitor.
It sounds like my kind of place.
So we have some lively street art. So lively means full of life. Or in terms of a place, we can mean that it's energetic and has a good atmosphere, has a strong feeling of energy coming from it. So something is lively, it has a lot of life. So for example, the lively puppy jumped around the room.
Right. So usually we think of cities as being very lively, but it's good to know that so is their art. Okay, well, let's go see what Hanny says.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是要介绍澳洲的城市 Melbourne 墨尔本。课文提到，墨尔本是一座充满个性和文化的城市。从充满活力的街头艺术、美味的料理到宁静的花园，它为每位游客提供了各式各样的体验。好，单字 lively 是形容充满活力的、热闹的、热烈的。那在讲到充满个性的地方时 ，Winnie 老师就提到，美国西北部地区有着悠闲的步调，而且注重环保，就跟喧闹吵杂的纽约市很不一样。那老师用到 laid back， 它是形容悠闲放松的。Eco-friendly 是形容对环境友善的、环保的，还有用到 vibe 这个字 V-I-B-E 这个名词表示气氛或情境。老师还用到 hustle and bustle 表示喧闹吵杂、熙熙攘攘的意思。好，接回课文中。
All right. Back to the article. As soon as you arrive, you'll notice Melbourne's unforgettable mix of historic charm and modern city life. That's kind of one of my favorite things about going to cities where they've kind of had some modern things and then they've preserved, they've kept all of their historic charm, like their buildings. And what does it mean to have something that's historic? Historic means a famous or important moment in time that will make a mark. So, for example, we visited a historic church during our trip. And in this case, Melbourne will probably have a lot of maybe also a historic church or just historic things that will really represent Melbourne.
That's right. Art is everywhere. From the modern buildings of Federation Square to the collections at the National Gallery of Victoria.
Ooh.
All right, so there's lots of art you can see in Melbourne, and it's all around the city. And one place you can go is the National Gallery of Victoria because they have a collection of art. So a collection is a group of things that are similar in nature and that are kept together. So when we talk about a museum or art gallery's collection, we mean the things that that museum or art gallery has and has to display and show to people. So it means that they have collected these things over time. They have gotten more and more as time went on, and now they have a collection. So, for example, the library has a special collection of rare books.
Well, that's nice to know because I love museums, so that'll be something I have to check out. Well, let's go to Hanny.
当你一抵达墨尔本，就会注意到令人难忘的历史魅力以及现代都市生活的融合。从联邦广场的现代建筑到维多利亚国立美术馆的馆藏，艺术无处不在。好，单字 historic 它是形容具有历史意义的、历史性的。collection 这个名词可以表达一批收藏品或者是收集物。那我们接回到课文中。
All right, well, I am so far very interested in going to Melbourne because it has a lot of things I'm really into, which is historic charm, so like buildings and stuff, but also art and museums.
Art
kind of
and museums, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my checklist.
That's your checklist. Well, I like the idea that it is, as you said, historic and modern buildings together. And I always also enjoy that when you travel to see historic buildings next to modern buildings. It gives you a feel that the city has been there for a long time and is continuing to be an important place.
Right. Well, let's go see the second part of the article and we'll be right back.
For a taste of local expression, head to Hosier Lane, which is known for its bold and eye-catching street art. Of course, a visit to Australia's second-largest city isn't complete without stopping by nearby Flinders Street Station. This city landmark is famous for its classic architecture and central location. You might even start to feel as if the entire city is putting on an exhibition for locals and visitors alike. If you're looking for something more exciting and aren't afraid of heights, Eureka Tower has something for you. Head up to the Melbourne Sky Deck and you can admire sweeping views of the city from 285 meters above ground.
Okay, welcome back. So in the first part of our article, we talked about some of the things you can see and do in Melbourne. And you can see lots of art because it's a very lively city with lively art. And it also has many modern and historical buildings that you can see. So art is everywhere in the city, and you can even see it at the National Gallery of Victoria.
Right, and speaking of art, let's continue with the article. For a taste of local expression, head to Hosier Lane, which is known for its bold and eye-catching street art. And when we say taste of local expression, expression meaning something that people use to tell their feelings, or in this case, to show their feelings. this being the street art. And when we have the word bold, we're talking about when something stands out and looks really different. So for example, the artist liked to use bold colors in his paintings. And in this case, the eye-catching street art is very bold. It really stands out. So I think I might have to stop by Hosier Lane too.
Yeah, I do like to see street art in a city. So it's nice to see, when the city's allowed these artists to have a place to do their street art and that it, can really make a city look special and beautiful.
Yeah, true.
Of course, a visit to Australia's second largest city isn't complete without stopping by nearby Flinders Street Station. Okay, so Flinders Street Station, I have actually been there, and it is a very impressive place to visit.
Really?
And it's very part of what we talked about with, historic buildings and modern buildings together. Flinders Street Station helps to make that connection.
So were there a lot of people there when you went?
Yeah, it's a very busy station. Has a lot of metro trains running through it.
Okay. Well, let's go to Hanny.
课文建议我们，如果想体验当地的艺术表现，可以前往霍希尔巷。这个地方是以大胆又引人注目的街头艺术而闻名。另外，附近的佛林德斯街车站也绝对不能错过。好，我们来看一下单字 bold。bold 它是形容色彩醒目或者是鲜艳的，也可以形容大胆的。那这边有2个重点，第一个是 be known for 加上名词或动名词，可以表达以某特色闻名。known 是 know 的过去分词当形容词，表达已知的、知名的。那这个用法呢，跟 be famous for 意思用法相同。我们这边造2个例句。The town is known for its hot springs. 那个城镇以温泉闻名。The actor is known for playing villains. 那位演员以饰演反派角色而闻名。好，那第2个重点是 be not complete without 加名词或动名词，是表达没有什么就不完整，一定要有什么才行。这个句型啊，它用到了2个否定词 not 和 without 来强调肯定的语义，表达一定要有什么才行。举例来说，A birthday cake is not complete without candles. 生日蛋糕一定要有蜡烛才行。那我们接回课文中。
All right, back to Flinders Street Station. This city landmark is famous for its classic architecture and central location. Okay, so a location of something is the place where it is. So my location right now is in the studio filming something, and Winnie's location is right next to me.
Right, exactly.
So when something is in a central location, we mean that it's in a place which is in the center of a city or in the center of where you might want to be because other things are nearby.
Right.
So often we talk about, if you're staying in a hotel, you want to find one with a good location because location is very important.
Exactly. And also, if you're a tourist, it's probably best to go to somewhere that, where you're near the central location. That way you can kind of hit all your checklists.
That's right. All right, I have an example sentence. Our hotel is in a perfect location near the beach.
All right. Okay, continuing. You might even start to feel as if the entire city is putting on an exhibition for locals and visitors alike, which that's really fun to hear because you kind of imagine like the bigger cities to only cater to tourists. But when you're putting a lot of like art like on display for everyone can enjoy that.
That's right. Yeah, it makes it so, the locals don't feel like it's just all for visitors. It's also helping to make their city look beautiful.
Right.
If you're looking for something more exciting and aren't afraid of heights, Eureka Tower has something for you.
I don't like where this is going. I do not like heights.
Okay.
Head up to the Melbourne Skydeck and you can admire sweeping views of the city from 285 meters above ground. That's not bad. That's okay. I can handle
That's
that.
okay?
I
Well, how
can
many,
handle that.
what is it? 300 meters plus is too much?
Yeah, maybe above 500.
Okay.
So what does it mean to admire something? When we're using the word admire, we're talking about appreciating or to hold something in high regard. So for example, they looked up to admire the beautiful moon. But in this case, you're admiring the landscape of what Melbourne, the city, looks like. Yeah. So I think I can handle that.
Yeah, I think, if you go up for the view, you can just look at the view. You don't need to go too close to the edge.
The moment you tell me to like bungee jump off of it, then I'm not okay.
All right. Well, let's go to Hanny now.
刚刚提到佛林德斯街车站，那这个城市地标以经典的建筑风格和中心位置而闻名。你甚至可能会觉得，哇，仿佛整座城市都在为当地人跟游客举办一场展览。好，来看单字 location， 它是名词，表示地点、位置。那文中用到 locals and visitors alike。那这边它也用到一个重点，就是 A and B alike， 表示 A 和 B 都怎么样 ，A 和 B 一样，就跟 both A and B 意思相同。那注意 alike 在这边是当副词，是指同样的、相似的，要放在所修饰的名词后面。举例来说 ，The TV show is loved by children and adults alike。那个电视节目，小孩、大人都爱。好，那课文最后就有介绍了尤里卡大楼，登上墨尔本观景台，可以从离地面285公尺的高度来欣赏整座城市一览无遗的风景。那这边用到动词 admire 是动词，表示欣赏、佩服。Winnie 老师在解释单字时，他用到Hold somebody or something in high regard， 这是表达对什么十分敬重或者是重视的意思。那老师刚刚还有提到说这个他怕高嘛，可是这个高度的观景台听起来是还可以接受的。如果是高空弹跳，它就不行了。那老师说的 bungee jump 这个动词就是高空弹跳的意思。那我们直接回到课文中。
All right, so I think, going up to the top of a building to see the view is something that I usually try to do when I'm visiting a city if the ticket price isn't too high, because sometimes it's just cheaper to actually go to a restaurant in that building and actually have something small to eat and see the view for free.
That's true. That's a good point, because you then do get to see all the landmarks kind of like, especially if it's like a big angle for you to see. So I think I'll add that to my checklist too.
Yeah, it might be high, but it's something that you can do without being too scared, because you're still
inside.
All right, well, now let's review the article again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Melbourne is a city that's full of personality and culture. From lively street art and delicious food to peaceful gardens, it offers a wide variety of experiences for any visitor. As soon as you arrive, you'll notice Melbourne's unforgettable mix of historic charm and modern city life. Art is everywhere, from the modern buildings of Federation Square to the collections at the National Gallery of Victoria. For a taste of local expression, head to Hosier Lane, which is known for its bold and eye-catching street art. Of course, a visit to Australia's second-largest city isn't complete without stopping by nearby Flinders Street Station. This city landmark is famous for its classic architecture and central location. You might even start to feel as if the entire city is putting on an exhibition for locals and visitors alike. If you're looking for something more exciting and aren't afraid of heights, Eureka Tower has something for you. Head up to the Melbourne Sky Deck and you can admire sweeping views of the city from 285 meters above ground.
最后我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。那单字的部分有 lively 是形容充满活力的、热闹的、热烈的。historic 是形容具有历史意义的、历史性的。collection 这个名词可以表达一批收藏品、收集物。bold 这个形容词则形容色彩醒目、鲜艳的，或是形容大胆的。那下一个单字 location 它是名词，表示地点、位置。admire 是动词，表示欣赏、佩服。文法的部分，我们第一个学到 be known for 加名词或动名词，表示以某特色闻名，就跟 be famous for 意思用法相同。那第二个我们学到 be not complete without 加上名词或动名词，这是指没有什么就不完整，一定要有什么才行。第三个学到 A and B alike， 表示 A 和 B 都怎么样 ，A 和 B 一样，就跟 both A and B 意思相同。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Hey, 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 it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki. And I'm Winnie. Today we're making origami trash bins. What is origami, you say? Well, it is the Japanese word for the art of paper folding.
It's very possible that you can find origami trash bins in a lot of Taiwanese households all over the world.
Right. Today we are going to teach you how to make them. Let's begin. Step 1 is to find a piece of scrap paper so that we can make our box. Step 1 is to fold your paper in half. And then step 2 is actually pretty easy. You fold it again. Okay. And now step 3 is to open it like a book. Take your finger and meet the corner on the inside. You'll actually see a line in the middle, so you know where to meet that paper flap. You'll know where to fold it down and smooth it over. Then you're going to take the flap and fold it to the side. And then now you're going to take your other side and use your finger to meet that point, meet that line, and then press down. Now you're going to open it back up, take one of the flaps, and fold it into the center. Then do it on this other side. Okay, and now you just flip it on over and do the same thing again. And now to give our disposable containers a little bit more structure, we're going to take our flaps and fold it inwards so that it can kind of be more straight and give it some more structure. And there you have it, your very own disposable container. Well, today we learned that you can give new purpose to something that you were probably going to throw away anyway. So as long as you have a scrap piece of paper that is in the shape of a rectangle, you can really make whatever you need.
And the best thing is, you can make it into all different sizes, like little ones or big ones like this.
Yeah. Anyway, remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if you have anything you want to say in English but you don't know how. Anything you want to say?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's all for today. Kiwi later.